Buried within this large video series is building relationships. It is the #1 key for success in the education profession. Quite simply, students are more willing to learn from someone they like. Be genuine and build those relationships. Delving deeper, let's consider the power of relationships in education. Relationships aren't just about camaraderie or friendship, they form the backbone of effective classroom management. When educators cultivate strong bonds with their students, it leads to increased engagement, participation, and success. Imagine a classroom where open communication is the norm, where empathy thrives and understanding flows freely. This is the kind of environment that nurtures learning, where students feel safe to express their thoughts and ideas. Creating such an environment isn't an overnight task. It takes time, patience, and a lot of heart. But the rewards? They're immeasurable. When students feel connected to their educators, they're motivated to learn, to explore, and to reach their full potential. Remember, every student wants to feel seen, heard, and valued. Building relationships can make this possible. To illustrate the power of positive relationships, consider the case of Mr. Johnson, a high school math teacher. Mr. Johnson started his teaching career with a passion for numbers, but found himself grappling with classroom management. His days were filled with discipline issues, lack of attention, and low academic performance from his students. He was teaching, yes, but the learning seemed to be missing. Then, Mr. Johnson had a revelation. He realized that the key to a successful classroom lay not just in the equations on the board, but in the hearts of his students. He decided to spend time building relationships, understanding his students' unique challenges, and taking interest in their passions outside the confines of mathematics. He began by simply asking about their weekends, their hobbies, and their dreams. He made an effort to remember their responses, to ask follow-up questions, to show that he genuinely cared. This wasn't a strategy, it was authenticity. And the students felt it. The transformation in the classroom was palpable. The disruptive student at the back of the class, who was passionate about basketball, started participating more when Mr. Johnson used sports analogies to explain complex equations. The quiet girl in the front row, who loved to draw, started contributing when Mr. Johnson integrated art into his lessons. The classroom discipline issues dwindled. The attention during the class soared. The academic performance? Well, it improved significantly. Mr. Johnson's investment in relationships made students feel seen, heard, and understood. They were more motivated to learn, not because they loved math, but because they felt valued in Mr. Johnson's class. They were learning math, yes, but they were also learning about respect, empathy, and the power of connection. Mr. Johnson's experience shows that investing in relationships can lead to a more harmonious and productive classroom. It reminds us that education is not just about imparting knowledge, but about touching lives in meaningful ways. Because at the end of the day, students may forget what you taught them, but they will never forget how you made them feel. Building relationships doesn't happen overnight, but there are strategies educators can use to foster positive connections with their students. To create a supportive and nurturing educational environment, it's essential to show genuine interest in your students' lives. Ask about their hobbies, their interests, their dreams. Show them that you see them as individuals, not just pupils in a classroom. A simple acknowledgement of their achievements can mean the world to a student. This doesn't just mean big accomplishments or grade improvements, but also small victories that may go unnoticed. Maybe they've mastered a difficult concept, or perhaps they've shown kindness to a classmate. Celebrate these moments and let them know you're proud of their progress. Open lines of communication are another key element in building relationships. Let your students know that they can come to you with their questions, their concerns, their ideas. Encourage them to speak up, to share their thoughts, to participate actively in their learning journey. Consistency is crucial in this process. A consistent approach shows your students that you're reliable, that you're there for them every step of the way. It also sets clear expectations, which is an integral part of effective classroom management. Patience, too, is essential. Building relationships takes time. It might take weeks, months, even an entire school year. But don't be disheartened. Keep showing up. Keep investing in your students. The process of building relationships requires time, patience, and genuine effort. But the payoff, a well-managed classroom and students who are more engaged and successful, is well worth it. We've discussed the importance of building relationships in education, illustrated by Mr. Johnson's case study, and provided some key strategies for fostering these relationships. Remember, A classroom thrives on the bonds formed between teacher and student. These connections not only facilitate effective classroom management, but also promote student success. In essence, these relationships are the cornerstone of a thriving learning environment. As educators, it's important to remember that at the heart of effective teaching and classroom management is the ability to build and nurture positive relationships with students. After all, our role is not just to teach, but to inspire and empower the next generation.